Yeah, this is lecture number 6. We have covered heat transfer through conduction. Now today in this lecture number 7, we have discussed about the different types of heat transfer through convection mechanism. Convection, so we can define convection. Convection is the transfer of heat. Convection is the transfer of heat within a fluid by mixing of one portion of the fluid with another, or we can say convection is possible only in fluid medium and is directly linked with the transport of medium itself. So it is very important point. The second point for convection constitute of the macro form of the heat transfer, since macroscopic particle of a fluid moving in a space cause the heat exchanger. So the third very important point for convection, the effectiveness of heat transfer by convection depends largely upon the mixing motion of the fluid. So the main purpose of convection heat transfer is to determine number first, the temperature field in a fluid medium, and the second one is the heat transfer coefficient H. The heat transfer coefficient H depends on the several factor, and the third one is how do we determine the heat transfer coefficient. So consider the process of convective cooling, as we pass a cool fluid past a heated wall. This process is directly by Newton's law of cooling. So this is a flat plate which is maintained at a temperature of Ts, and a free stream velocity of the cooled air, this is a u naught, is flowing over the flat plate. So there are two types of profile is developed. The first, this profile is known as velocity distribution profile, and this profile is known as temperature distribution profile, and the q dot is denoted the heat flux through the convection from the hot plate. So this curve is a parabolic curve, and this curve also is a parabolic curve, and u is a function of y. So we can say the velocity at any point is the function of y. So this mode of heat transfer is meet within situation where energy is transferred as heat to a flowing fluid at any surface over which flow occurs. This mode is basically conduction in a very thin fluid layer at the surface, and then mixing caused by the flow, or we can say the heat flow depends on the properties of the fluid, and it is independent of the properties of the material of the surface. However, the shape of the surface will influence the flow and hence the heat transfer. So we can say the heat transfer rate is basically depends on the surface area of the heat transfer, or according to Newton's law of cooling, the rate of heat transfer is equal to H multiplied by A multiplied by Ts minus T infinite, where H represented by the heat transfer coefficient, A is the surface area of the plate, Ts and T naught is are the temperature of the hot plate and the surrounding temperature of the fluid medium. So basically two types. The first convection is known as free convection, and the second convection is known as the forced convection. So free convection is also known as a natural convection. So free or natural convection occurs when the fluid circulates by virtue of the natural differences in density of hot and cold fluids. The denser portion of the fluid moves downward because the greater force of gravity as compared with the force on the less dense. So the next and the another heat transfer is forced convection, when the work is done to blow or pump the fluid, it is said to be the forced convection. So this is a temperature distribution. So near any wall of the fluid is subjected to the no slip condition. This is a no slip condition where velocity is 0 and the temperature is also 0. That is, there is a stagnant sublayer. Since there is no fluid motion in this layer, the heat transfer is by conduction. The heat transfer is by conduction in this region. Above the sublayer is a region where viscous force retarded fluid motion. In this region, some convection may occur, but conduction may well predominate. A carefully analysis of this region allow us to use our conductive analysis in analyzing heat transfer. So therefore, this is a basic of our convective theory. And at the wall, the convective heat transfer can be represented by the formula. This is Q convection is equal to minus K suffix F del T divided by del Y at Y is equal to 0 is equal to H multiplied by Ts minus T infinite. Or we can say at the junction point of the plate there is a no slip condition. So we can say the heat transfer through the plate by conduction should be equal to the heat transfer rate in a natural convection. So mathematically this concept is written by this formula minus K dt by dy is equal to H Ts minus T infinite. Types of convection flow. The convection may be two types, force or natural convection, influenced by the buoyancy force, and the second convection is known as forced convection, induced by the external means or external work done. The third is extremely diverse. Several parameters involved: fluid properties, geometries, nature of flows, phases, etc. So the common classification of the convection is number A, based on the geometry. These are the external flow or the internal flow. The option B, the B is based on driving mechanism. In this there are two types of convection. The first is natural convection and the forced convection or a mixed convection. So the third one is based on the number of phases, single phase or multi-phase, and the fourth one is based on the nature of flow. It may be laminar flow or it may be a turbulent flow. So the forced convection, or we can say the external flow over a flat plate. This is as shown in the figure. This is a flat plate over which cold water or cold air is flowing and the boundary layer is developed. There are two types of boundary layer. The first layer is known as hydrodynamic boundary layer and the second layer is known as thermal boundary layer, and this profile is known as velocity distribution profile, where u is a free stream velocity and u infinite is equal to the free stream velocity at the upper edges. So the concept of boundary layer was introduced by the Prandtl in 1904. Since then it has been applied to several fluid problems. So when we can say this boundary layer concept is applied both in the fluid mechanics and in heat and mass transfer. So when a real fluid, or we can say a viscous fluid, passed over a fixed boundary layer, a layer of fluid which comes in contact with the boundary surfaces adheres to it and the condition of no slip occur. So always there is a no slip condition occur. Thus the layer of fluid which cannot slip away from the boundary surfaces undergoes retardation. This retard layer further caused retardation for the adjacent layer of the fluid, thereby developing a small region in the immediate layer is known as the boundary layer concept. So, or we can say at the no slip condition the shear stress is also equal to 0, or Newton's law of viscosity, tau is equal to mu du over dy, where du over dy at this point is 0. So this point is always, we can say, no slip condition point, and the velocity gradient is equal to 0, temperature distribution and equal to 0, but the heat transfer is occur only through the conduction. So fluid particle adjacent to the surface is at rest. This is the first assumption, and the second one is these particles act to retard the motion of the adjoining layers. These two effects combines the results of boundary layer effect. Inside the boundary layer we can apply the following conservation principle. There are two types of principle is very important. The first one is momentum principle, and second one is known as energy balance, energy principle. In momentum principle we consider inertia force, pressure gradient, viscous force, and body force. But in case of energy equations we consider convective flux, diffusive flux, heat generation, and energy storage. Forced convection correlations. There are different types of formula which can be used in forced convection and free convection. So three dimensionless number are very important. The first one is Nusselt number, the second one is Prandtl number, and the third one is Nernst number. So Nernst number, on the basis of Nernst number we can classify our fluid classification, that is laminar flow, turbulent flow, and the transition flow. And on the basis of Nusselt number we can differentiate between the two thermal boundary layer, that is hydrodynamic boundary layer and the thermal boundary layer. So since the heat transfer coefficient is directly function of the temperature gradient next to the wall, the physical variables on which it depends can be expressed as follows. H is a function of fluid properties, velocity, field, and geometry, and the temperature, etc. As the function is dependent on the several parameters, the heat transfer coefficient is usually expressed in terms of correlation involving non-dimensional number. They are Nusselt, Prandtl, and Nernst. Nusselt number is equal to Hx divided by k. Prandtl number is equal to nu divided by alpha, where alpha is equal to thermal diffusivity and nu is equal to momentum diffusivity. And the Nernst number, that is known as Re is equal to Vx divided by nu, where Vx, or we can say it is the ratio of the inertia force to the viscous force. Viscous force provides the damping effect for disturbance in the fluid. If damping is strong enough, that is known as laminar flow, otherwise it is turbulent flow or a critical Nernst number. So in a forced convection the heat transfer correlation can be expressed as a function of Nernst number, Prandtl number. So basically the Nusselt number is a function of Nernst number and the Prandtl number only. This is a flat plate over which fluid is flowing, having a velocity u infinite. Thermal boundary layer is developed and the hydrodynamic boundary layer is also developed. So for calculating the Nusselt number, there are two types of Nusselt number: average Nusselt number and local Nusselt number. So the local Nusselt number is denoted by NUX and the average Nusselt number is denoted by the NU bar. So mathematically NUX is equal to 0.323 Nernst number power 1 by 2 and Prandtl number power 1 by 3, and the Nusselt number, local Nusselt number is equal to Hx by k, and the Nernst number is equal to Ux rho divided by nu, where u infinite is equal to free stream velocity, x is equal to at a distance from a leading edge, and rho is equal to density of the fluid, and mu is equal to dynamic viscosity. Prandtl number is equal to mu Cp divided by k, where Cp is equal to specific heat and the k is equal to thermal conductivity. These are the mathematical expression for the different numbers, Nusselt, Prandtl, and Nernst number. Next is physical significance of convective correlations. The Nernst number is a familiar terms of all of us, but we may benefit by considering what the ratio tells us. Because the thickness of the dynamic boundary layer, that is denoted by delta, is proportional to the distance along the plate x, or Nernst number is equal to rho u infinite square divided by mu u infinite divided by rho divided by delta. There are, the numerator is a mass flow per unit area times a velocity, that is a momentum flow per unit area. The denominator is a viscous stress, that is a viscous force per unit area. The ratio represents the ratio of momentum to viscous force, and if the viscous force dominates, the flow will be laminar. If the momentum dominates, the flow will turbulent. So the next is the physical significance or physical meaning of Prandtl number. The Prandtl number was introduced earlier. If we multiply and divide the equation by the fluid density rho, mathematically PR is equal to mu divided by rho whole divided by k divided by rho Cp. and finally it can be expressed by nu divided by alpha, where nu is equal to kinematic viscosity and alpha is equal to thermal diffusivity. The Prandtl number may be seen to be a ratio reflecting the ratio of the rate of the viscous force penetrate the material to the rate that thermal energy penetrates the material. As a consequence, the Prandtl number is proportional to the rate of growth of the two boundary layers. Mathematically, it can be denoted by delta divided by delta t, it is equal to Prandtl की power 1 by 3, where delta and delta th are the thickness of the hydrodynamic boundary layer and the thermal boundary layer.